Are you learning cello through essential elements? Then this is the video for you. Today I'll be covering number 70, which is Dinah, Won't You Blow Your Horn? Hi, my name is Liz from Cellomoji.com, and I give you tips and tools so that you can learn to play the cello. So here in number 70, we are diving into a new rhythm, the 16th notes. Now, it is really important you don't get it confused with eighth notes. If you look really carefully at the 16th notes, they have two bars across the tops of the stems connecting the two notes. And eighth notes only has one bar. So when you're visually looking at the music, you really want to see the difference between the two. 16th notes do go faster than eighth notes. In fact, 2 16th notes equals 1 eighth note. So you really do want to make sure that you are being aware of how you're using your bow. A lot of the times, especially in past songs, we may have used a lot of bow just because we want a nice, full, rich sound. But when it comes to 16th notes, you really want to start compacting your bow and getting just good contact with the bow to the string. Obviously, you don't want it so small where everything just comes out crunchy, but you also don't need to use a whole bow per 16th note, or even half a bow may be a little bit too much as well. So pay attention to the type of sound that's coming out of your cello. If it sounds really airy, you might not have enough contact on the string. If it sounds too crunchy, you might be a little bit too deep in the string, or you might not be using enough bow. Find that really good sweet spot where you can find a great tone. Something I like to tell my students when they're doing 16th notes is you really want to almost feel like you're scrubbing into the string. Especially if you're playing on the lower G string or C string, you really need that extra weight in the string to provide a really good contact and friction so that a good sound will come out. Oftentimes, if you find that everything is sounding a little bit muffled or not very clear or a little bit fuzzy, that usually means your bow isn't in good contact with the string. Remember, when it comes to rhythm, that you really want to try to not feel it out, but to actually be counting it out in your head. Now, when we're talking about counting things out in our head, the formal term for it is what we call subdividing. So we're dividing beats equally in our head and really counting out each of the values of the notes. Now, when it comes to 16th notes, if you're unsure of how do we divide a quarter note into 16th notes or eighth notes into 16th notes, at the top of this page, which is page 16 in the book, there is actually a yellow box where it actually has this really nice diagram where it breaks it down and helps explain what the value of a 16th note is in comparison to eighth notes and a quarter note. What will be really nice too when you're playing this song is it switches back and forth between quarter notes and 16th notes. So you can even feel a difference with the length of bow, the weight of bow, and even the speed of the bow between two different note values. At the end of the first line, pay attention to the quarter note rest and the comma there. Do a nice circle bow so that you can line up for line 2 and start on the right bow and have a really good starting place. Also remember, when you're holding out long notes, you don't want to just play it kind of short and then wait out the length of note. Really, if it's a long note, in this case quarter notes, you really want to hold it out for the full quarter note beat for both of them and then switch back to 16th notes. Oftentimes in the beginning you may be tempted to just like play it, and then in your head you're like, oh, I do know that that's a longer note. But just always keep in mind that whoever's listening to you can't read your mind. So if it is a longer note, play it out longer. If it's a shorter note, keep it short. This is in the key of D major, which has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. And now, especially since we've been working on extension 4s up until now, we can now do the 2 octave D major scale. So let's go ahead and play that. much more to this song. We've covered quite a bit with the differences of quarter notes and 16th notes and how we use our bow. So I'll play through once by myself, and then I'll play through once with the accompaniment provided by Essential Elements Interactive. Here we go. So there was number 70, Dinah, Won't You Blow Your Horn? I hope that this video is helping to answer any questions you may have, but if there are some that I have not answered in this video, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And also, if you're liking these Essential Elements tutorials, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you won't miss out on any other Cellomoji videos. Check out the videos on your screen right now for some other Essential Elements tutorials, as well as some other videos that will be fun to watch on your cello journey. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!